I was born in 1280 in Mali and died in 1337. I was emperor of the Malian Empire reigning from 1312 until my death. I'm the richest person to have ever lived, and I was a Muslim. I remembered in history from my famous pilgrimage to Mecca. Here is where my story begins. Mansa began his journey to Hajj, bringing along 60,000 men and 12,000 slaves, and he also brought along 80 camels loaded with 300 pounds of gold each. Everybody who was with him was always loyal to him, knowing that they would always be receiving gold and not having to pay for a single thing. On the way to Hajj, Mansa Musa made the decision to stop over in Egypt and spend some time there, so they decided to rest the night and reach Egypt in the morning. In the morning, they started up again on their way to Egypt, bearing gold, food, and all kinds of rare goods, all in good condition. All the people who traveled with Mansa were in good condition and always were well fed, even the slaves. Mansa was the wealthiest emperor to ever live and rule the Mali Empire. As they arrived into Egypt, everybody was amazed by the amount of gold and how wealthy Mansa looked. They cheered in astonishment and admired him and his greatness. Not only was Mansa Musa a wealthy man and emperor, but he was well knowledgeable and cared for others. Mansa Musa, being the giving and caring type man, he gave out lots and lots of gold to the people of Egypt. He gave out so much gold and money that he ruined the Egyptian economy for years and years to come after. For Mansa's stay in Egypt, a prince there lent him a palace. Mansa is very well known there, and Mansa gave him gold in return for the prince's kindness. Mansa stayed in Egypt for 3 long months, giving out gold and goods to the people of Cairo. Mansa ended up making his way to Mecca and completing his pilgrimage, which is known as Hajj. On his way back to Mali, though, he realized he had given out so much of his money that he wouldn't have enough to make the trip back to Mali. In shock, he knew he had to think of something to get at least some of his money back. Mansa ended up stopping back in Egypt and asking for some of his money back from the people he gave it out to. Mansa explained his situation and how he didn't have enough money to make the trip back to Mali. The people of Egypt felt bad for him, so they gave him back some of his gold so he would have enough to make the trip back. Mansa then made his way back to Mali to take control of his empire again. Mansa is most well known in history for his famous pilgrimage to Mecca, but he also did many other things, such as he built many mosques in places he visited, and he was known for being a well-devoted Muslim. Mansa enlarged the kingdom of Mali into an empire. The Mali Empire included most of Western Africa. These lands included the present-day countries of Gambia, Guinea, Mali, Senegal, and some other places too. Musa was known as a great ruler in which he never forced people of his empire to become Muslim, even though that's what religion he was. He did, however, help spread the religion of Islam majorly throughout his time, traveling to other places and practicing his religion. Mansa had ruled over the Mali Empire for about 30 years. After Mansa's death, his son Mansa Magan I became ruler of the empire. By the late 14th century, some of the weak leaders lost control of much of the Mali territory that Mansa had once ruled.